You lie awake tonight, the ceiling above you a blank canvas for the questions racing through your mind. Why does it hurt like this? Why hasn't God taken this away? You clutch the pillow as if it could absorb the ache, yet the space inside you feels hollow and raw. Each thought of them, each memory, is like a tiny fracture across your chest. And in the stillness, you wonder if anyone, anywhere, can understand the weight of this heartbreak. You are not broken beyond repair, even though it feels that way. Heartbreak, as unbearable as it feels in this moment, is not a sentence. It is a teacher. And God, though silent to your pleading, is here. Not as someone who removes the pain at your command, but as the one who allows it to move through you, reshaping the contours of your heart in ways you cannot yet see. There is a part of you, the one still tethered to hope, that asks, why me? Why not spare me? The answer is not simple. God does not erase heartbreak, because in the erasure, the lesson disappears. In the pain, clarity grows. In the fracture, resilience takes root. You see, the mind and the heart are intricately designed. Suffering awakens parts of yourself you have yet to meet. Your strength, your boundaries, your capacity to feel deeply without being swallowed by it. Your grief is a storm, but every storm carries its purpose. It strips away illusions. The idea that love is only comfort, that attachment is only fulfillment, that the person who left was the ultimate measure of your worth. Pain is a lantern that illuminates the truths you could not bear to face in moments of ease. When you are broken, you see what is fragile in you, yes, but also what is unbreakable. Right now, it may feel like a punishment, like God has turned away. But consider this. What you feel is not the absence of love. It is the refinement of it. God's presence is not always in the removal of suffering, but in the steadying hand that sits alongside you in the dark. When your mind races with every what if, when tears come unbidden, when the pit of your stomach is tight with longing, God is there whispering, "You are not alone. This is not wasted." You might resist this truth. You might feel anger, disbelief, betrayal, all valid, all human. It is natural to rail against the pain. Even God does not demand your immediate understanding or your quiet compliance. What God desires is your presence in your own pain, the willingness to feel it fully, to witness it without turning away. Healing begins when you acknowledge the pain instead of begging it to vanish. Consider your nervous system, the biology of heartbreak. Your body is responding to loss as if survival itself depended on it. Heart racing, breath shallow, mind replaying every moment. Science explains it, and yet science cannot soothe the soul. God steps into the space science cannot reach. The spiritual dimension of heartbreak meets the physical reality of suffering. It is in this meeting that transformation begins, slow and almost imperceptible. The pain is a mirror, reflecting not only what you have lost, but what has been dormant inside you. It asks, who are you when the world is stripped away? Who are you when the love you counted on is no longer a shelter? God allows this mirror not to punish but to reveal, and you, in your quiet agony, are being sculpted into a version of yourself capable of love tempered by discernment, capable of joy without dependence, capable of peace amid uncertainty. Do not rush the process. The heart, like the body, heals on its own timetable. Each tear that slides down your cheek, each sigh that escapes your chest, is part of the rhythm of restoration. God does not require you to hurry. God requires only your willingness to stay present, to inhabit your sorrow without fear, to watch it slowly unfold and transform. You may find moments, fleeting as they are, when the pain subsides for a breath, a song, a memory untainted by grief. These moments are sacred, glimpses of God's promise in action, that even amidst loss, there is life, there is meaning, there is restoration. And yet, the pain returns. This is the natural pulse of heartbreak. Do not despise it. Do not curse it. In its return, you are reminded of your capacity to endure, to feel, and to eventually rise. The mind will offer narratives, some cruel, some comforting, about why this happened. You may blame yourself, him, God, the universe, and all these narratives are part of the process. Listen to them without judgment. God listens too, not to silence you, but to witness. Witnessing is the first step to understanding. Witnessing is how you learn that your value is not defined by what was lost, nor by who left, but by the essence that remains intact within you. There will be days when you feel hollow, days when hope feels distant, days when the simplest tasks seem monumental. These are not failures. They are the terrain of healing, God's work is quiet here, subtle, woven through your breath, your heartbeat, your capacity to survive yet another night. Pain is not the opposite of God's love. Pain is where love is being refined, where resilience and grace are being forged in fire. In the moments when longing overwhelms you, when the memory of their presence grips your chest, speak gently to yourself. Say, I am allowed to hurt. I am allowed to feel. I am not forsaken. God's presence is not measured by comfort alone. It is measured by accompaniment, by the quiet steadiness that allows you to survive your own sorrow. Even in isolation, you are seen. Even in the moments of despair, when your tears fall silently in the dark, God sees them. Each tear is acknowledged, each cry is heard. You are being held even when it feels impossible to be held. This is the paradox of divine presence. It is not always loud or dramatic, but it is persistent, unwavering, and intimate beyond what you can fully comprehend. You will begin to notice, slowly, how the pain teaches you the boundaries you once ignored. It shows you where your self-respect was compromised, where your expectations were unspoken, where your needs were dismissed. Heartbreak is not only about the loss of another, it is about the awakening to your own worth, about recognizing that your soul deserves careful tending, that your heart deserves protection, and that God's love is never contingent on the choices of others. There is a rhythm here, a pulse in the heartbreak. Some nights it is a pounding, relentless drum. Other nights it is a quiet heartbeat beneath your ribs. Learn to listen. Learn to track its rhythm. God's guidance often comes in cadence with the pain, not as an eradicator of suffering, but as a conductor guiding you through the symphony of grief, showing you the crescendos and the silences alike. You may long for closure, for a resolution that never comes. Heartbreak rarely gives a tidy ending. God does not promise closure in the way the world defines it. God promises transformation, endurance, and the eventual softening of the ache into wisdom, clarity, and the ability to love again, more fully, more consciously, and more faithfully to yourself. Allow yourself to mourn. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to ask questions without expecting immediate answers. God does not chastise your doubts. God holds the questions with you. And as you endure, as you walk through the valley of heartbreak, you may begin to sense a subtle shift, a strength forming in your chest, a clarity in your mind, a peace that is not the absence of pain, but the presence of God alongside it. This is the work of heartbreak, not to leave you desolate forever, but to shape you, refine you, and awaken the deepest layers of your heart. You will find in time that you can remember them without the same piercing ache. You will find that your heart can expand again, capable of love that is rooted in self-respect, discernment, and divine accompaniment. Tonight, as you breathe in and out, as you feel the weight of loss pressing on you, remember, this is not abandonment, this is not punishment, this is the sacred process of growth through suffering. God has not left you, God walks with you. Each tear, each sigh, each sleepless night is part of the journey, a journey not to erase the heartbreak, but to carry it, transform it, and emerge from it more whole than you imagined possible. And when the night seems endless, when the longing is a tide you cannot hold back, speak to God in your own words. Whisper, cry, or sit in silence. Let the pain exist. Let the heartache move through you. Let God's quiet presence be your anchor. In this, the impossible begins. Endurance becomes strength, suffering becomes insight, and heartbreak becomes a sacred corridor through which your soul learns to rise again. If this reflection spoke to your heart, take a moment to like this video. It helps others who are hurting find it too. Subscribe for more gentle guidance on healing, heartbreak, and spiritual growth. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might be the light someone else needs today. Thanks for watching.